Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Mint Market. Let me just start with the economic calendar here. We have news, medium impact news, consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. So that's in like 4 minutes. So I will jump right into the charts. We had also medium impact news at 8:30 today, and we have seen a run lower, um, and then a reversal at around 9 o'clock, um, going back up into the opening range gap here delineated in pink. And so far we are in the midpoint. We are below the New York London morning session here. We are below the new day opening gap here delineated in yellow. We have, let's put this away. We have the midnight opening price here above us. We have the 8:30 opening price here below us, and we are at the moment ranging between the new week opening gap here, which is these blue lines here. So at the very moment, I do not have a clear bias here. We were moving up all week long, as you can see here on the daily chart. We have also moved up all week long here. So we could usually expect a retracement up to 20% of the weekly range on a Friday, which is called the TGF, thank God it's Friday, by ICT setup. Here we have approximately 20%. We have retraced so far in the morning. So if we go back to a 15-minute chart, we have in fact retraced so far. And we have retraced to 5537 here. And now we are basically in the middle of the range in my opinion. So let's wait for the news and see if we get some displacement. And at the very, very beginning, let me also remind you that all being said here and shown here is my personal opinion. There is no trade or investment advice. So please do not risk real money on anything being said and shown here. You could potentially lose real money. Hello, Abdul. I'm glad to have you back in my stream, Abdul. So let me check real quick if all my other settings are good, but I assume so. And now we have the news driver just now, and we are at the top of the new week, of the old new week opening gap here, shown in blue. And also TT, hello, welcome back again. Another day, another opportunity for us. So everything looks fine. And so far we have taken out the liquidity here from 7 o'clock. And let's see how price reacts here at the old new week opening gap here. We had a potential retracement already in the morning, so let's see if that's it, and if we want to go higher today. So far we are in between the range, in my opinion, so I'm basically waiting for more information. I do not have a very clear bias today. I mean, the overall bias is bullish so far. So we could, but we have moved a lot already this week. So we had a huge up run. And I think the target on a higher time frame, actually, let's see if we got hit that. I was stating that I'm looking for this gap here. So the high of this candle here is 5585, and today the high of today was 5583. So we have missed the real gap here for a couple of handles. Do you only use red flag news? You're asking, TT. I'm using high and medium impact news drivers. So the orange ones and the red ones. So I'm using the 8:30 and the 10 a.m. news today as well. It's also on my calendar. I do not use anything below. So where's the filter again here? I can show you my filter. I have high and medium impact news, not the white and the yellow ones. I do not use. I think they are not significant enough, in my opinion. So we are now back. At the old new day opening gap here, delineated in yellow. We have taken out a 15-minute swing high, so we have taken out liquidity and we are back in this fair value gap here. We're still in a discount relative to the midnight opening price, but we are in a premium relative to the 8:30 opening. I think we have two scenarios today. I'm not 100% decided on a session bias yet. I think we have two scenarios here. We have the liquidity down here, so I'm delineating that one. So that's a possible target in my opinion, because also if we look at the range here, if we measure the range here with the fib, we have missed 50% level, so we might come back down there. So I think we have liquidity still here from Thursday's morning session. We have a fair value gap here. So that's a point of interest on the sell side for me. And then on the buy side, obviously, we have the previous day's high from the morning session. And we have the opening price here. So I'm at the very moment, I'm still waiting for anything to materialize. What we can do in the meantime, is measure the opening range here. So here we have our opening range gap in purple, which might act as support once we trade it through to the upside. But I want to also measure the opening range, which is the range from 9:30 which is here, to 10 a.m. So that's our opening range. That's also impactful. So far, we are below the fair value gap here, and we are below the new day opening gap. Let's see if we can hold ground here. We have traded into this fair value gap here, potential support for the upside. Today, I'm a little bit in between. I think we have to observe price a little bit more today and to come to a clear setup or trade idea. We are in between this price run here, and we are in between premium discount levels here. Since we have taken out this high here and we are below again below this new day opening gap again, I want to watch closely if we get a market structure shift lower here, or if we find support here in potential discount levels. So what I'm marking here, what I want to mark here now is this fair value gap here. We've traded into it, couldn't make it higher. So far the new day open gap acts as resistance so far. Once again back into the fair value gap here, into the new week opening gap. And if we look at the narrative here, what do we have? We opened, we had morning news, we opened lower, we traded lower in the morning, went into a discount, then we had our market opening, we went higher in the opening range, and now we are basically in between the London morning session and the low of today's pre-market open. A clear market structure required, writes Abdul. Yeah, I agree. So far I do not have a clear market structure. For me, still, so far, both scenarios are kind of possible, which doesn't make it very high probability from the bias. And sometimes you have to accept that, because, again, as I explained, I can still see the downside. We have a low here and another important low here and a fair value gap here. So once we fail here, break lower, and this old new day opening gap acts as support, we could potentially go lower. But on the other hand, we have been strong all week. So at the moment, the higher time frame bias is bullish. And but we are on a Friday, but we could still see support and another attempt from here going higher, making this a market maker buy model here. What I'm watching right now is how we behave here now. If we try to go lower after taking out this 15-minute high here, and if we're respecting this new day opening gap as resistance here, or if we stay here consolidating, stay strong and want to make attempt higher, and if this new day opening gap, if we trade through that and if this acts as support, I would expect higher prices to this New York midnight opening price and maybe another new high of the day. If we fail here, if we act here as resistance right away and also this new day opening gap keeps price below and we go below the midpoint here, I would be more focused on the sell side. But at the very moment, it's 50-50 for me. Or in other words, I have no fucking idea. we could throw the dice, or we can make a poll in the chat and we can take a trade in the direction the majority thinks or wants. Just kidding. SMT divergence with Nasdaq. Thank you for your input, Abdul. Let's check that out, of course. Maybe you can tell me what divergence you mean on which time frame. Let's start with the 15-minute. 15-minute. We had a divergence here. We made a lower low here and a higher low here on the Nasdaq and the S&P before we went up. So that's a divergence in my opinion. Here's 15, here also the 15. So we're not the same time frames, I'm sorry. On the 15-minute, I don't see a divergence here. Market structure looks pretty similar. On the 5-minute, I think you probably mean the highs here, right? So we have taken out the 7 o'clock highs on the S&P, but we have failed to take out the 7 o'clock highs here on the Nasdaq. Okay, yeah. You're right, Abdul. Thanks for letting me know. That is definitely a divergence. I can add text TT, but the problem is often when I add text, then it gets really the chart gets really crowded. Like then the text is in front of the candles, and then no one can see anything anymore. But I can try to mark the most important levels. So on the 1 minute, Abdul, okay, and yeah, on the 5-minute too. All right, thanks. Yeah, let's check out the other time frames as well. Looks similar on the 1 minute, 3 minute. Let's check out the 1 minute, Abdul, as well. Um, yeah, as well on the 1 minute as well. So in this case now we have a SMT divergence on the 1 minute as well here, and here basically a lower high so far, but I think that will be changing soon anyways. Otherwise, right now, nothing, not really an insight from NASDAQ that would help me a lot, to be honest. Nothing NASDAQ is telling me that's helping me to get the. All right. Nothing that really would help me. We are at the opening range high right now. Let me make some annotations here for UTT. So maybe I can we can start with this one. Opening range high. So where do we do it? Middle, top, middle maybe, right, left, maybe to the right, and then opening range low here. So far it looks like we are going lower. Midnight open. 8:30 open. But you see quickly once I start annotating the chart, it gets pretty crowded quickly, the chart. And I want to keep a clean view on the actual candlesticks. So far we are back. It seems like we have support here in this fair value gap. I'm not texting that out now. So just know that this is the fair value gap here. As you can see on the 2 minute, I think, yeah, the 2 minute fair value gap. So far we see support here. Also we have the old new week opening gap high here as support, and we are back in the new day opening gap here in yellow. And if we trade through this, this yellow shaded area might act as support for higher prices. So far it looks like, to me, it doesn't want to go lower for now. And I will keep an eye on this yellow level as support area. Also, we have a market structure shift on a 1 minute here. We have a fair value gap here on the 1 minute. We haven't, that should stay open in my opinion. So if we're in fact higher, this fair value gap should ideally stay open. We have another fair value gap here on the 2 minute. And we are back now in the, all right. We traded back into this fair value gap now. Let me check here. And we could act here as support. We have now also 3 minute fair value gap here, 2-minute traded already into it. Also the 3-minute now. Here we have the fair value gap below here. And we have closed above the gap on the 5-minute, not on the 15-minute so far. I'm thinking to take a long here. So far we would have this fair value gap here as support. Haven't closed here yet. Watching the midpoint here. Let me outweigh if it's really a good idea to consider a long here. We are above the midpoint of the range. The 15-minute candle has not closed so far. In the new day opening gap. 5-minute we do not have a candle here. 3-minute does not disrespect it so far. I mean it does since it has not closed yet, so could still work out fine here. We have closed second fair value gap here. We have not closed here on the 3-minute. Ooh, it's difficult. Difficult in my opinion at the very moment. Let's check out the Nasdaq. Yeah, it's really not so super high probability in my opinion. Nasdaq has taken out the highs as well. And S&P is below the new day opening gap again. So we have closed here above, but the second candle now looks heavy. Would really like to take a good trade today, but we can't force it. We simply cannot force it. Now it looks heavy again. All right. So we have taken out the stops here in Nasdaq now, and now it actually looks heavy. We've taken out the high again here. Let's see if we get a market structure shift on S&P, and a significant one, not just a small little. This here could get an inversion fair value gap here, so let's mark this one. So this here I look as a potential inversion fair value gap here. I want to see this traded through. if we in fact stay heavy. But to be honest, I want more confirmation today. It's not clean for me right now. Not very clean. The target is not clean to me, and the market structure neither. Price action is okay, but before I take a trade in these conditions, I want some kind of confirmation that gives me the confidence that I'm looking on the right side. For me, at the very moment, it's still casino. Yeah, it's really, I cannot tell you with a good edge. I can't tell you if like we go higher from here or dropping lower from here. Confirming the market structure shift from 5 to 1 minute. Uh, um, I'm not 100% sure what you mean, Abdul. Do you mean manual trailing stop? Okay. Okay, now I got you, I think. So you are waiting for confirmation for a market structure shift on the 5 to 1 minute. Yeah, that's what I'm looking as well. If I'd get that, I'd be more comfortable to take a short here. Let's extend the range here. But so far we have not seen that. Let's see if we get it now. So you're using trailing stops, Abdul. I personally critical edge right now. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Abdul. I think that's also it's critical here. So what price is doing next, uh, or what price is doing from here, significantly, if it does so. I mean, if we're unlucky, it consolidates here and does nothing. But we need to see. It needs to show us the cards what it wants to do. So right now it's speculation, and I don't want to roll the dice here. um, yeah, you're using a trailing stop loss. Interesting. I personally do not use trailing stop losses. I manage my stops manually on basis on the smart money concept taught by ICT. He has a couple of stop loss placement rules, which can trust our luck this week. Yeah, yeah, we had not the best luck this week. That's true. Especially, I think the market conditions were the problem. It was not like I'm not, I don't think like we did big mistakes or I did big mistakes here. I had always a clear view what I want to see. It just didn't form most of the time. And when we engaged, it was just too choppy or didn't pay out. But yeah, I think the bias was maybe it was a little bit surprising that the market is staying that strong all week and that it doesn't even uh, give us sometimes of some kind of retracement setups. It was always running immediately in the morning, was always in a premium right away. So it was always in the area where I didn't want to go long anymore, but it also didn't present opportunities to short. So yeah, I guess with the market conditions, we were just unlucky, or if you want to call it wrong concerning the bias. Or wouldn't say wrong concerning the bias because with the bias actually the higher time frame bias was actually right, but the intraday bias just didn't do what I wanted to. And again, back to the trailing stops. I personally do not use trailing stops because there's a couple of rules, like some sound rules in combination with the models and with the entry strategies. And I'm basically sticking to that. What I'm doing when what I'm doing is I move my stop manually sometimes, and that's I do this when we have like a market structure shift. Yeah, and Q keeps reversing. Yeah, yeah, it's really crazy. So yeah, sometimes it is like this. Maybe maybe we just have to accept that this week is not in our favor, and that maybe next week will be better. But let's see. Today and the session is not over yet. At the end of the session, we might come to the conclusion that this week was not an ideal trading week for us, at least, or that's how it is sometimes. So now we have traded through this, or now this is now on the 1 minute chart, and this is now a valid inversion fair value gap here on the 1 minute chart. So we're about to break also market structure here, high, low, higher, high, after taking out a sell side liquidity pool here, a higher time frame sell side liquidity pool. So basically what I'm referring to the 2022 model. We have a 15-minute swing high here. Let's see if we have a sustained market structure shift here. So far, it has not taken it out convincingly, to be honest. It's just equal highs here, so I would have liked to see a more convincing close here below this low here at 10.06. Maybe we get that still. To trust the market structure shift here. All right, now we have a trade into the fair value gap. Yeah, that's a potential short entry now, but for me the market structure shift is still not convincing, like that's equal highs. That's not a market structure shift in my opinion. The low here is 5561 and the low is here 5561. So basically we have equal lows here. Not ideal, not what I consider a very strong market structure shift here. We have a fair value gap here in the 1 minute, so if we see lower prices, that would be an entry here now. But again, for me, the market structure shift here is not too convincing. I don't think I will enter that one. Yeah. Okay, yeah, not a clear market structure shift. You agree. I'm glad I'm glad you're agreeing with me here. So we don't need to fight about that. Just kidding. Yeah, that's why I didn't enter as well here. And you can see that the reaction already, I would have already regretted it if I would have taken a short here. the close here above the midpoint of this fair value gap here, I would have already regretted it, and I would have probably taken a stop out here. So I'm glad we did not enter short here, and we stick to our model, or I stick to my model, to one of my models. Man, this price action is hard for live streaming, I'm telling you guys. I'm looking forward to the markets that give me clear setups and start moving 30 handles in my favor. But this week was challenging. Every session I streamed was challenging so far. Market really... No, we don't argue, we find a conclusion. Perfect. Together, maybe we can push the market in the direction we want at some point up to, right? We can make this to a pump and dump group. If we all agree, all viewers agree here, we might be strong enough to push the market in the direction we want. Just kidding. Today I'm in a joking mood. But you gotta be kind of, you gotta keep your humor here, because otherwise, if I'm just focusing on price, I get frustrated. All right, now we have a clear market structure shift in my opinion, but it's still not beautiful. But now we have a market structure shift. We have traded below this low here and we closed below. So that's a little bit more convincing now, on the 1 minute at least. But again, we pull back immediately on the 3 minute. That's not beautiful. This is a potential bearish order block here. We can observe that one. So we take the mean threshold of the body of this green candle, take the mean threshold, and if the direction is valid, this red line should not be crossed, in my opinion, or should not be crossed on a closing basis. So this red line here, we have the midpoint of this potential order block here. So let's see if this candle respects it. Here we have a small fair value gap as well. We can observe this one, but doesn't seem to be respected as well. All right, so the market still not tradable in my opinion. And I'm happy that I'm not entering today, or that I have not entered yet. Look at this, we have the market structure shift, but so far it is not very clean. Let's see if the fair value gap is at least respected on a closing basis so far. If we close below, we could see that. But the midpoint of this order block is already disregarded, so yeah. It's still not good, in my opinion. Still not favorable price action. And again, it looks like again we had the move in the morning, and from 10 o'clock starting we just get consolidation, chip chop, and nothing tradable, or nothing that's tradable with a high degree of certainty, and that's fun in my opinion. All right. so far. We made a lower low, so choppy but still gravitating lower. Still not nice price action. Need to close both on NDX and SPX market structure shift. Yeah, I mean, I think we on the lower time frame we have it. So on the 2-minute chart, we have a market structure shift on both indices. But so far, it's very choppy still. I don't trust this. I don't trust this price action here, even though it made a lower low now, since we disregarded the order block. We basically disregarded the fair value gap here. It might still go lower, but it's not beautiful. It's not clean. Now we have a structure shift on the 3-minute as well. Here. But for example, if you want to apply the 2022 model, there is no way to apply it here or get in a trade because there is just no fair value gap here. So we have the market structure shift here, but there is no fair value gap we could enter on. That's on the, even though on the 2-minute, no fair value gap. On the 1-minute, there is one here, which is already used, or one here. But that's not so beautiful. Let me put that away, otherwise it gets too busy. Yeah, that's not what I consider beautiful. Markets are shift with displacement with a clear fair value gap with at least one PD raise, A plus setup for me. Yeah, I agree. That's also my favorite model, even though I take a silver bullet can basically be any fair value gap in the time window. So I'm not limited to taking only this 2022 model, so I can take other fair value gaps as well if everything is in place. But I agree, the 2022 model, which I think you described here, is also, in my opinion, one of the best and highest probability setups because you have so many confirmation points and you have a lot in your favor here. So we have this fair value gap here. So we traded into this. Let's see if we can go lower from here. I don't want to enter it. I'm just tape reading it now here. We have the market structure shift on the 3-minute. So we traded up into the 1-minute fair value gap here. So it could expand lower here. However, I'm not very keen on trading that here. But I'm observing it here. We touched the fair value gap here. And let's see if we have the strength to go lower and take out the sell side liquidity here. But I'm just tape reading it now. It's not worth it, this price action, in my opinion, to enter a trade. And yeah, so back to you, Abdul. Yeah, so the perfect scenario for me is if we take out a significant higher low, depending on which direction I want to trade. So can be an hourly, a 15-minute, but ideally a 15-minute at least. If we then see after we took the liquidity out, we see a clear market structure shift with displacement, leaving a fair value gap there. And once we break the structure, we can see a retracement into the fair value gap and take a trade. That's also one of my favorite setups. So it's basically the 2022 model. So far it's still ugly. We have, it is really frustrating, I'm telling you guys, to be in front of the charts all week in this session, and then we have always challenging price action. So now we have a closing candle here in this fair value gap here. I'm referring to the 1 minute here at 10:32. So now we should really go lower if lower is the correct bias. But it's ugly. It is ugly. We can observe if we find the strength or the weakness to go lower here, make the lower low and attack the sell side liquidity here. Maybe I can do a video describing my exact model I'm taking here. Maybe I can make or models. Maybe at some point I will do a video, a short video describing the Silver Bullet setup basically in plain terms, and the 2022 model, which can be a Silver Bullet as well at the same time, if it's in the time window. Maybe I do that if you guys are interested. So since I'm bored, let me let me use the time to remind you that if you like the live streams, if you like what I'm doing, if I would be I would highly appreciate it if you leave the video a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. That would be a real motivation for me to keep going, and would be cool to grow the channel a little bit at least. All right, so far so good. So far we see a reaction of this fair value gap here, not too much, but a couple of handles, 5 handles at least. So yeah, so far price action still choppy, but yeah, it's at least doing what we want. I could have taken this trade here, but I didn't want to. We have 1 minute left until the full hour macro, which starts at 10:50 to 11:10. Let's see if there's anything unfolding in this time window. So far we had a drop down. Now we have a nicer run lower. We are at the low of the old new week opening gap, and we touched the 8:30 opening price, and we are in the at the beginning of the macro window. So I'm interested if we see any setup forming right now. If we are lucky, we get a setup forming. And let me check. We are in a discount now, so I kind of interested more in a long now at this point. So I think we could see the macro if make a run higher now. If this acts as support here, if this stays here. We had a fair value gap here. We retraced. We took out the high, we retraced, fair value gap here. We are in a discount now relative to the 8:30 price, relative to the midnight price. We are at the low of the old new week opening gap. So I'm actually interested to see if I can make a bullish entry here. And great, not locked in. So now we're locked in. All right, and price reacts strong so far. No entry yet. I haven't taken an entry yet at least. And unfortunately, it seems like it moves without me. That's a pity. That's a pity. I was interested taking along here. A little bit more down, of course. And it had a quick reaction here. And we are already way up in a premium, so not ideal. What a pity. Would have taken along here. Would have liked to taken along here. Oh yeah. I feel like I don't get a chance for this trade. At least we saw it coming and I was able to point it out, but I'm afraid I will not be able to participate in this trade. Was very nice. Nice reaction from this fair value gap here, from the low of the new week opening gap. Very nice reaction. Not sure. The reaction is not ideal. Pretty strong reaction from that. Nothing that wants to make me go long here. And we have a void fill here. All right. I will try it here, and I will put a very tight stop here. And my stop will be here. And I will go for the highs here. We are in a discount here, and I have a very tight stop, so this is for me and basically not the perfect trade, but I want to try it now to make my peace with the market this week. And I have a really tight stop, so I don't care if I get stopped out here. That's fine. But I think if I'm right with my trade idea that we came to huge discount here and that we want to upset liquidity to the upside now here. We could see that. And again, we came far down in this gap, which I don't like, but the candles closed a little bit above the low here. And I have a very tight stop here. So if my trade idea is right, it should not take me out here. And we will see. This fair value gap here should act as, I'm trying to trade the macro now, and this fair value gap should act as support here now. This is basically an inversion fair value gap here. But yeah, this trade is not super high probability, so back into this volume imbalance here, that should hold. This volume imbalance, I don't want to see it broken here, and would be good if we make a higher high now. Actually, I will just, I don't know, I just want one position on this trade. It's really just for showcasing purposes here. It's not like a trade where I want to make a performance. It's just really like for you guys on the stream. It's really just for you guys on the stream. I want to show you a trade now, and that's why I'm just using one contract here. It's for entertainment purpose only. It's not about trading the account up or anything. But it's the last chance this week for us. Friday, our last hour macro, and we have a very tight stop. And it should, in my opinion, if my idea is right. So if this was a retracement now into discount, fair value gap here, low of the new week opening gap, into the discount of this opening range gap, then we should see at least an attempt to go higher. Not saying that we make an extremely higher high and take out the high of the day. That's not what I'm expecting, but I'm expecting a run to get the stops for everybody who tries to take a short. But maybe I'm the stop as well. All right. Maybe I'm the liquidity. I want to see liquidity being upset on the upside now, but I might be wrong. So far, it's not ideal. I want to see already. I want to see some more upside here, some more strength. So far, it's a little bit too much reaction on the downside here at this fair value gap, at this volume imbalance. It's not ideal. I will still hold on to that one, but that should be the last attempt lower now. I want to see strength and speed now. It should not chop around here. And yeah. But again, the conditions today are really not ideal in my opinion. I mean, look at this chop here. So it is really not high probability conditions. So, and also on these high probability conditions, you want to be careful and you don't want to risk a lot. Maybe even stay out and do nothing. So far, Nasdaq is also not really supportive to the upside. It looks like it might want to go down as well and take out the liquidity. So far my trade is a little bit in question because we have here, I mean, look at this here, a lot of potential diagonal support here. So market might want to go down, take all the stops here out. So far, I really want to see support now, and it needs to go higher now in large green candles here. It was hanging around here enough. It should really leave this level now and then go higher if I'm right. And I'm just looking at the viewers. 20 people watching right now. That's amazing. Never had so many people watching since I started here. Approximately a month ago. Yeah. No trade setup for me today. Closed day. Yeah, that's smart, Abdul. I would not recommend you to go in on this trade. It's really just like for showcase purposes now. I saw an opportunity. It's not super high probability. I'm not risking a lot on this trade. I just really want to like find my peace with the market and maybe show some trade uh, before we close this week completely. So yeah, it's really just the the stop here is perfectly placed. So if I'm right, I will not get stopped out here. If I'm wrong, I will get stopped out here. So, but you know, it's really tight. So that's perfectly fine. And since I will close it after this trade, I will close the session after this trade. Since so many people are watching right now, let me use the chance. If you like what I'm doing here if you like me to do daily live streams here in front of you, analyzing and taking trades, I would be really appreciated if you leave me a thumbs up on the video if you like what I'm doing, and if you don't want to miss anything, subscribe to the channel. I would be really appreciate that, guys. Everybody who was watching. And that would really give me the motivation to continue these live streams on a daily basis and analyzing and trading in front of you live the Silver Bullet hour every day from 10 to 11 a.m. New York time, UTC -4, as you can see here where I'm pointing with my cursor. All right, so far so good. So far we can so far we are back again in this 1 minute fair value gap, so we should break through this ideally and maybe run the highs here, because the narrative is, I think, that yeah, a lot of people are trying to go short now or shorted here, and they have their stops here somewhere trailed, and I think the market could likely go up there and upset the liquidity again. Not saying that we have a sustained higher run today, but I could see that. And I will move my stop a little bit more up now. I think we should not come back below here again. So it doesn't change anything, but still, just for stop management purpose. Yeah, it's actually 50% of that wick. I want to put it right below it. So yeah. Now now I have, in my opinion, the perfect stop placement. If I'm right, it will stay intact anyways, and if not, I have the minimum amount of risk I think I can have on the trade. And so far so good. We have traded above this 1 minute fair value gap, making this an inversion fair value gap, and I want to see higher prices now attacking the buy side liquidity here. We have down close candle here, bullish order block, rejection block, and now we should stay above this candle's low here, above this candle here. That's not really okay. So far, that's not really a good indication for the trade. I wanted to see this candle not being breached to the downside, and I wanted this fair value gap here in pink acting as support. So that's not good. But yeah, as I already mentioned, it's not ideal for trading this day. It's very choppy. If I would not be live streaming, I would not take this trade probably on my own. live account. But yeah, since I want to show something here, I'm doing it with the minimum risk with just one contract here. But yeah, I would not feel very comfortable putting high risk with my live account here. Okay, yes, invited my team. No trade setup for me today. Close. Abdul, yes, I invited my trading team of 5 and trading friends to watch the stream. Oh, amazing! Thank you. That's very cool, Abdul. I highly appreciate it. They were questioning live for Silver Bullet. I told them what you will find me here. I shared the link. Cool, cool. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm glad. So yeah, mouth propaganda probably the best. So I'm glad you like and appreciate the stream, Abdul. And yeah, sure. I'm happy to have you all of Abdul's friend. Welcome, and I'm happy to have you in my stream. Come back anytime. And if you want to introduce yourself personally, let me know in the chat. I'm happy to know your names or happy to get in touch with you guys. So is everybody in your group smart money trader using ICT concepts, or is it like a mixture of traders with using different concepts here? And another thing I would be interesting is everybody from Pakistan, or are you from all over the world? All right. So so far very choppy, but I'm sticking to the trade, and I think the next probable target is here, the buy side liquidity, and we have here the high of the old new week opening gap. So would be cool to see that. And we are in the full hour macro here, so we should see some movement here. And yeah, they are all from Pakistan. Amazing. So I have already a Pakistani viewer community. Very cool. Hello to everybody. And if you like what I'm doing, I would highly appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and come and watch anytime you want. I will try to do this daily, every day, and as far as my personal life allows it. And if not, I will let you know anyways. But Hodl Pack, welcome to the stream. Nice to meet you. And yeah. I guess I look handsome today, yeah. Thanks, TT. I appreciate your compliment, even though I haven't shaved today. So I haven't shaved extra for the stream. But thanks. Welcome, Hodl Pack. Yeah, okay. So the trade, like back to the trade, it's really lethargic still. And yeah, it's not the perfect environment. And I think I will put it now to break even. Ah! I will put it now to break even, and if it stops me out, it stops me out. Um, almost wasn't fast enough for break even. I think the macro window is over already. You're all in one room, all sitting in one room. You're live, man. All right, cool. I hope you're having fun trading together in one room. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this was an invitation to Pakistan now, but I've never been to Pakistan and I would love to come one day. So if that was an invitation for me to come to Pakistan, I will come back to that at some point. You can show me around. Okay, it has stopped me out now. What a pity. Yeah, it the reason why I moved the stop now was we have already 11:10 and it hasn't moved yet. So, or not too much in my opinion. So I got stopped out break even. That's fine. The trading conditions, as mentioned often enough, are shitty today again. So I can live with that. So yeah, that's fine. I show you the executions, but you have seen them anyways. So we have entered here. Oh, in this candle, in the down close candle, we have entered here. Took one off here just because I wanted to reduce the risk. And now I got stopped out here on break even. Yeah, it's just not worth to hold the trade in my opinion. The idea was sound, I think, but yeah, you can judge yourself, guys, how nice, how beautiful the market is at the moment. So, and I hope some of us gets a payout, and then we can send you a fully funded invitation as a guest. Amazing, thanks. Yeah, I hope you guys all. I hope everybody makes a lot of money here, and I would appreciate an invitation. And don't worry, I would also come and pay the trip myself. So I hope I can make myself a lot of money in the future, and I can pay the trip myself as well. And I would also come just because I love traveling, and yeah, I'm sure Pakistan is also an amazing experience. So would definitely love to come one day. And then maybe all of you guys um, have made enough money. Wish it to everybody. All right, guys, I think there is nothing interesting to me at the very moment. There's no setup, trade setup. There is no trade setup I'm interested in right now. All right, absolutely, why not? Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, I will consider that someday. I will uh, I will let you know when I'm planning my trip to Pakistan. Okay, now it looks like it runs. Okay. Um, Now after chopping around for half an hour, it just 15 minutes. Now it does another attempt to go higher. I don't care. I don't care at this point. I think I will close the stream soon. I will be. Oh shit! Your internet is down. I'm sorry for that. Um, However, I will close the stream anyways soon. I will be back on Monday. Oh shit! Yeah, if you're all sitting in one room and the system shuts down, that's shitty. Yeah, so all the best that you're back online soon. And yeah, I wish you guys all a very nice weekend and take care. And I will be back next week. I will stream again 10 to 11 a.m. New York time, UTC -4. So I'm glad if you stop by and watch my stream whenever you want. And yeah, we will This week was challenging in terms of price action during the silver bullet window, but I'm sure it will get better. And we will back next week and hunting for new trades and opportunities. All right, all the best and see you soon. If you want to stay in touch with me, you can follow me on the X account. Otherwise, we can communicate in the live streams as well. But here is my X account. So if you want to keep in touch and or get to know what's going on, feel free to connect there with me on X, and there I'm also available offline basically. Malik TV, some hearts, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. All right. All the best, guys.